What's going on, everybody? It is Yards After the Catch. It is the super show before the super game. I am your host, Chris Fox. We got the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Root. There it is. You see the code at the bottom right there. Go to that HTTPS address, and you can be on with us. Why type in comments so that we'll still take those. We love them. But you can actually come on and sit right in the chair next to us. Big thanks to Rob Machado for playing us in. He'll play us out one last time as well. Been rocking it for us all season. He'll hopefully be back next season. And, here we are. I mean, this is what it all comes down to. Finally, what we all been waiting for. After the championship, when you take the fantasy side and set it to the side, we're at the big game. We'll talk about predictions at the end, but how are you feeling about it?
Well, it's Super Bowl week, baby. Nothing but fun all week. I mean, I made 2 types of salsa, just the regular fresh spicy one. Then I got a tomatillo, habanero, pineapple mixture thing going on. Tomorrow I'm going to marinate, the pork butt and get it ready to slow cook. I mean, this is the week, this is the moment, the build up, and I'm fired up about it. My favorite time of year is like September through the Super Bowl. That's my fun time. And after that, it's like yard work and house chores that I didn't do the last 6 months, and this is it. So this is like my last build up, the grand finale. So I'm really excited about it. How about yourself, Chris? How you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm doing great. I did the same thing. I got actually doing the pulled pork. We're going to shred that up. So I got that ready. We'll throw that in the morning and get that all ready for the big game. Got the salsa, got the chips. Sounds like we're on the same road there. Got the veggie tray. Got to have the veggie tray. Got to get a little nod to the health nuts out there. I love a veggie tray. I love a good veggie tray. A nice, good ranch sitting there in the middle. That's about as good as the meat for me. I just something about a veggie tray. But anyway, and of course we got the ice cold beverages chilling out there. Going to frost my glass when I pour them in tomorrow. That's how cold they're going to be. And comes 6:30 Eastern time, probably more like 6 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to plop my butt down, and I'm probably not going to get up until the halftime show, and then I'll plop my butt back down again because I am excited for the halftime show. You see all the memes about all the Gen Zers watching their dads get it. Like, that's going to be me. Like, there's going to be some dubstep, and there's going to be a little crip walking. It's going to be happening in my living room when the Snoop D-O double G, Eminem, of course, the good old doctor gets on there. Yeah, that's me all day.
Yeah, the worst part about the Super Bowl is, you got to watch the game. That's the fun part. The commercials are always there. The halftime show, there is no I'll go to the bathroom during the commercials. No, you can't do that.
Oh.
You can't do it to the game. If you don't have pause on your TV, it's just going to ruin everything. You can't miss anything. So, and if you do anything, you got to make it quick. You go take a piss, come back, and then
because the commercials are just as good as the game. You don't want to miss the commercials either. It's like there's no time. You pretty much just go ahead and give me the bag, and I'll just pee in the bag. I'll pee in the pot. Yeah. Give me a bottle. And that's about how it's going to go down.
It's 4 hours, so, I mean, some people can make it, but not if you're having a nice cold beverage. You're filled up on chips and salsa and meats and chicken and pork, whatever you're doing. And so it's really exciting. And like, hey, is now the time I need a diaper, or should I just, miss something and then hear about it on Twitter or news or something? So
advantage of having infants in my home, I have diapers on standby. T, you can come dance on our show anytime. You can come dance for the Super Bowl anytime you want. We'd love to have you because let me tell you, T brings the party. But so here we are. We're going to talk predictions. We're going to save the predictions for the end of the show. That just seems natural to do. But the road here was absolutely amazing. Probably like the best series of playoffs that I've ever seen. Sometimes you might get a good playoff game or something. Like literally every single solitary game. Some it took until the fourth quarter, but every single solitary game coming down to the wire. What do we have? Like 3 overtimes and like the last 3 games, 4 games, something like that. Like ridiculous playoff scenarios on how this came down. Both these teams definitely deserve to be there. I would say most of the teams in the semifinal and final rounds, clearly they easily could have been there because they lost in the final seconds. But do you think if one of the other teams, if we had the Cowboys instead of the Rams, if Kansas City had made it, if one of these other teams, San Francisco, is the Super Bowl still as good as it seems primed to be if one of these other teams gets in?
I mean, if Kansas City got in over, Cincinnati, I don't know if it would be any worse. I think it would still be great. But the thing about this game particularly is it's new teams that I haven't really seen in the last few years. And, the excitement of Joe Burrow's second year coming in here and saying, hey, I'm here at the Super Bowl. They have such a dominance and they just were amazing during the playoffs. The fourth quarters, you show me a bad fourth quarter in the playoffs. I don't see one.
Yeah.
The 49ers shouldn't have been there a couple games ago, but that's just my opinion. I'm born and raised in Cali, but I think that this is the best outcome it could be. Joe Burrow, the young buck that'll probably be in a couple more Super Bowls, and Stafford, who finally makes it after working so hard in Detroit. I love just the battle there. The little, I'm not going to call him old, but he's a little older. He's seasoned, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's the Cinderella story 100 times over. It's great.
Cinderella story. And you're right, because you kind of have without giving away picks, you've got the group of young. I'm not going to call them rookies. You have, but the younger team with Chase, Burrow being in his second year. You got a lot of young players, first and second year guys on that team. The whole Super Bowl is invaded by LSU players, but on both sides. But whereas the Rams were kind of built for this, and I don't know, I'm not. They weren't even intentionally built for this, right? So Von Miller kind of falls to them during the season. OBJ falls to them during the season. And they're picking up these guys, quality veterans. So it is the veteran squad, the guys who have been playing for a while, and Matt Stafford being one of the older guys in the league. It's very hard, I think, to take sides. When you talk about a young second-year quarterback, Mr. Joe Cool and his rookie machine that's just been firing up. I mean, you got Rookie of the Year most likely, and then you've got the number one receiver in the league with Matt Stafford, who's had talent all this time and been stuck on Detroit, and finally gets put on a team that shows up. For me, it's hard to pick a side.
Yeah, I've contemplated this for a long time. You have all these veterans that are deserving and want to something more. Just they want to get this one. A lot of people in LA really are looking forward. They built this team for that. And then you have these Bengals that are just this scary young team, and it's like they're going to come back to this, if not next year or the year after that. Like they're young. Like a lot of these guys are rookies or first couple years in their contract. Their money is not going to change much. I don't know all their book stuff, but I'm just looking at the team like, okay, these guys have something, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come back next year and they're looking at another opponent.
And that's the thing. So I agree with you. It is nice to have two fresh new teams in there. I do think it is just as good with Kansas City, but that is the thing. So we've got these two great teams in the Super Bowl. Will they both be able to sustain for next season? Will both these teams still be at the top? Will they have a chance? Will we see the same four teams when you bring in Kansas City, you bring in Buffalo? Will those same four teams be, shooting for these spots, or typical of today's free agent culture and stuff like that? And again, I don't have contracts in front of me and stuff like that. Basically, the question is, can these teams hold it together for another year?
Barring crazy, wild injury that happens every year, somebody goes down with a big name. If they can stay healthy, I don't see why these two teams don't make it back to the championship round, and if not, push it to the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying I want to repeat next year. I really don't. I do like to see new teams every year, and like Josh Allen. I'd love to see the Bills come in and
Mhm.
take one of the sides. There's going to be a lot of battles, and if not, the top four. I'm really looking forward to that, and they do have the talent. They have the young crowd. They have the veterans. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again next year, but I'm not really shooting for that. I like to see new teams, new excitement, new fan bases. So it's exciting.
Well, you got to worry about the thing that I worry about, and I actually worry about it more with the Rams. But you got to worry about guys like McPherson. All of a sudden, wants to be the highest paid kicker in NFL history, and so they can't float his contract anymore. And it's money well earned. And I'm joking when I say McPherson, but I mean you do have guys like Von Miller and Darnold on the same team. You've got Cup and OBJ on the same team, and you still got Matt Stafford there. And I know these guys have contracts, and again, without having that information directly in front of me right now, I don't know even who could negotiate. But even take those stars out of it, I imagine, I'm pretty sure OBJ had like a 1-year contract. I would imagine Von Miller probably had the same thing. But then you've got the supporting cast too, right? You've got other linemen that may not be as notable, but clearly is important to where they're at on both sides of the ball that are going to want to get paid after the season. I mean, it happens every year. There's players that want to get paid at the end of the season. And so I don't know what the cap space is either. It's just something we're going to get into during the off season and as we roll up into the draft to consider and to wonder if all these teams can hold together. And it's not just the Bengals and the Rams either. I mean, you're talking, like you said, it's the Bills. What's Tampa going to do now that they're Brady-less? And these other teams that were in the playoffs that are part of even the 49ers, chances are that Garoppolo will be gone. And I think that's good for Garoppolo to go to a new place because I think he's going to catch a lot of heat after the fourth quarter interceptions and stuff. But that means Trey Lance is going to come in as Trey Lance ready. They kind of pieced. In contrast to the Rams were able to take veterans and build a team, whereas the Niners kind of pieced a team together with what they had, and it just happened to work.
Yeah, they do have some trouble with some injuries in the past, and they have a great team, a couple of surprises even. And when you look at the 49ers, they are going to, have that same momentum. But when you look at the Rams, you're right with, are these 1-year guys still going to be there? However, on, the draft side, this draft is incredibly defense heavy. And
Yeah.
you're going to see a lot more defense coming in the first round. And I don't follow a lot of defense, but your typical high names.
No, you hear your big names. There's the big guys coming in, out of Michigan, et cetera. We'll get more into that as the draft gets closer. We will go live for the draft. If you guys want to watch the draft with us, by all means, do that. We will be there. If you guys want to come live with us tonight, all you got to do is put in that little web address down there. If you're watching us on Facebook, it's on the page as well. The HTTPS blah, 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 mellonapp.com with the code. Might ask you to download that Melon app, but it's free. You can get rid of it as soon as you're done. We've had plenty of people on the show here that have used it. It's very simple, very easy. All you got to do is type in that address and a little thing will pop up. You guys can be on the show with us. We'd love to have you. But we love your comments as well. Mr. T says Lance won't play next year. Brady will be the starter in San Francisco. A big kind of a joke theory that is going around. Nobody actually believes that's going to happen. But I think it would have made more sense to do that if Brady knew he was going to retire, to do that. As soon as Tampa was knocked out, he should have called San Francisco and said, hey, I'm ready for a trade. And then it might be San Francisco in the Super Bowl this year. But no, I think Brady is definitely not coming back. It would be funny if that happened, though.
I was thinking about that. Like, I don't know. I just don't think we were done with Brady yet. I don't know if he would go to San Francisco, but I wasn't ready. That wasn't the ending he wanted, I believe. I didn't want that. I kind of wanted to give him just one more, but at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is better off going to San Francisco than
Yeah.
Brady,
I agree.
So I just and part of his statement says, "Hey, Lance won't play." Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers is there, not Brady. I think
Right, it's
Brady.
going to depend if they do bring someone in. Honestly, if I'm a Niners fan, I would kind of hope that Lance wouldn't play because I don't think Lance has really had the the tutelage, if you will, on the sideline to be ready to start. It'd be nice to have an actual veteran there. Not that Garoppolo hadn't played, but I just don't know that Garoppolo has the right knowledge to pass on experience. To pass on to Trey. It'd be nice if an Aaron Rodgers came in and pulled a season or two for Trey to learn off of. I feel like you're kind of going to get a Justin Fields situation if Trey Lance is forced to start next year. I could be wrong. Rosen did fine, but I don't know.
I like Trey Lance. I think he's a wonderful quarterback. I think getting a couple starts is really not a lot of experience. You have to understand he played like what, one game the season before the draft,
Right.
because of COVID and everything. So I mean, he's got you can count his starts in the last 2 years on one hand,
Right.
and that's not enough experience at this level to really say, oh, he should be the starter, he shouldn't be the starter. I mean, you can throw him in there, and I think he'll do great. Brady, Stafford, Manning, they all threw 20 something interceptions their rookie season. Troy Aikman was horrible; he didn't even win a game. Stuff like that. That doesn't mean anything that first year. When you look at all the people at the top who threw a ton of interceptions, they're in the Hall of Fame, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to put too much on it. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. We'll see where it ends up.
Yeah, and you bring up the point about not being ready for Brady to go. So in contrast, Roethlisberger said very early on that he was going to retire. So you knew you were watching the last few games, watching the last season with Roethlisberger. So for Steelers fans, we had a chance to kind of build closure as the season went on and have that at the end of the season. When Manning retired, it was pretty certain that it was his last year, and he gets his Super Bowl, and everybody knew he was getting ready to go. Elway, kind of the same way. Elway was thinking about retiring already. He won the first Super Bowl. Of course, he's going to come back and try to defend it, and then so you had time to build closure from the fan base, whereas Brady, you didn't get a chance to do that. So we got Travis here. Thanks for hopping on the show. How you doing, Travis?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good. Good to see you again, the people's champ. Y'all might remember Travis. He was our big contest winner. Came on the show, did some predictions for us. So we're talking about not really being prepared as fans for Brady to go. Whereas other quarterbacks in the past, to include Roethlisberger this year, they kind of gave us a little more warning, so we have a little more closure. How do you feel about Brady, whether you're a fan or not, the GOAT no longer throwing passes in the NFL?
Yeah, man, it's like I said, it's bitter. Okay, yeah, I just said for me, it's bittersweet. He is the GOAT. Got to give him that.
Yeah.
But the sweet part is, I'm a Falcon fan, so he's out of my division now, so I'm good.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams because that division is already kind of struggling. I'm sorry, it is. That division is already hurting, and so when you got Tom Brady, I mean, it's
wide open now.
It's wide open, and I don't know how much that's saying we're going to see. There's going to be a lot of moves and stuff in that division. You're going to see quarterbacks changing out. You're probably going to see at least two new starters, if not three, throughout that division. And there's a chance that Matty Ice could retire as well. I mean, he's really not alluded to it. There's kind of been talk about it over the past seasons, but it's really not been a lot to it. But I mean, hey, he could look at – if I'm Matty Ice, I'm looking at the landscape and I'm saying, I don't have to deal with Drew Brees anymore. I don't have to deal with Tom Brady anymore. I don't even have to deal with Cam Newton shenanigans anymore. I got a pretty good shot here. But, I might go one more round and see what I can pull off in this division. If that's me, I don't know.
I actually saw something that Arthur Blank said. It kind of had me a little word, man. They say Matt think he could play as long as Brady played.
Ugh, yeah, that's not what Falcons fans want to hear. I don't think. I think you got to, but I would like him around for another year. I don't think there's any. There is potential quarterback talent coming up in this draft, but there's not that big. There's not that Trevor Lawrence, that Justin Fields. There's not that big feel of we've got the next. These guys can start for sure, and they're trying to hype them up a little bit and build them up. But I mean, let's be honest, it's really not there. Root, there it is. What are you thinking? As far as that.
I mean, there's some good talent out there, but you're right. There's not enough hype around them. They're not going to be the number one pick. Might not even be the top 10. So when you're looking at that type, I really don't care because Tom Brady was picked 199 and he's wrecked everybody. So
true.
You don't have to be number one pick to be great, and you can pull one of these guys that are a no name that aren't getting the hype, and they're going to get that chip on their shoulder, like, hey, go ahead and disrespect me, and I'm going to come in here and wreck your house. And that's what people do sometimes. Not everybody can do what Joe Burrow has done in the first 2 seasons, and I mean they would have been probably deep into the playoffs if he didn't get hurt the year before. So I'm not worried about the hype. If they have the heart. I want a player with heart. You can be strong and talented, but if you're giving up in the fourth quarter, I don't want you on my team.
Guy talking was saying, you see that during the season with Brady that, the comments have been there for so long that he almost knows what the defense is going to do, before the play snaps. And it's because he's literally studied the man calling the plays on the other side of the ball for, months and months at this point. And so, yeah, he almost kind of does. He knows the tendency. He's got a general idea probably what's about to happen based on the setup. And it's not just the week-to-week game day films. I mean, Brady used to study for months and months. And the only other person that really comes to mind with that kind of work ethic is Peyton Manning to me. I saw you could see Peyton Manning do the same thing. And so, yeah, who else is out there that's really doing that right now? Not that there isn't talent out there, but is honestly that style of quarterback kind of gone with Brady now. Travis, what do you think?
I believe so. I think a lot of them, like I said, they're talented, but that work ethic and studying that film, I think Brady was the last of a dying breed, man.
Yeah, you see that. I mean, it seems to be more of a Patrick Mahomes, underhand backyard play, tuck and run, things like that. There's a lot more of the individual talent coming through instead of the individual work ethic, Root.
Right.
Yeah. You're looking at this, and you're watching. When you're looking looking at Atlanta, and you got Matty Ice over there. You're thinking, when's his time? When's his greatness? Is this the end? And then you lose Steelers, great. You're going to lose Patriots, Buccaneers, great. And then you got Kansas City, Buffalo, Burrow, all these big teams with these fresh flock of great quarterbacks. This is the new era, and nothing's lasting forever in the NFL. Maybe some stats, but the people are going to move on. This is that fresh new flock. These are going to be the guys we're going to be talking about year in and year out for the next X amount of years, however long they last. And who's the next big name? That's what I want to know. Like, who's bringing it up next year? Who's going to be like, I drafted him in the 12th round, and he ended up saving my season. So I'm really excited to see this young crop of kids come in here and just dominate and give us that I run this team stuff, because I like that. I like to see that. I love what everybody's doing, but I just want to see some more. There's a lot of quarterbacks leaving. I want to see some more come in, some fresh crop.
Yeah, if you guys want to join the show, just do like Travis did down there. There's a little address. Type in that HTTPS melonapp.com, etc. There, you can be on the show just like Travis. And you brought up a big word when you were talking just now. What's that?
T. Hall said it's Trask.
Oh yeah.
Could be.
You brought up a big word, and that's stats. For years and years, you would hear Al Michaels when he would call a game. A stat would get posted, a record would get broken. A team would have, be talking about records, team versus team, and he would always say since the merger. And talking about when you had the AFL and the NFL come together. Now, and it's funny to see Brady retire at this time, because starting this year, when these stats start coming up, it's going to be since we've gone to a 17-game schedule, or since the 16-game schedule, because we're going to see all these records get broken. Everybody's records are about to go out the window. And it's kind of crazy to think about records that have stood as long as they have, when you talk about guys like Jerry Rice and names like Joe Montana and Dan Marino, even Brett Favre, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. All the records that are there right now in the next 5 years are going to be erased, aside from the long, the most passing yards ever, most passing touchdowns ever. But even those will get erased faster, because we've got an extra game this season. Now you look at what Cooper Kupp did with an extra game, and he was already, ridiculous at game 16. But now that these guys have an extra game to pad these stats, how many more 2,000-yard rushers are we going to get? I mean, you think throughout the years of how many guys missed 2,000 yards by 100 yards, by less than 100 yards, receivers missing that. We're going to have like 1,500-yard receivers and multiple, especially with the way the game's set up now.
Right.
You know what? I do agree with you. When you look at, Brady's stats of 22 years of playing, well, in about 22 years, some of his, I don't know, what does he have, like 300 records? Who knows?
Who knows?
It's ridiculous.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them. He's going to have some of those broken, and he's probably still going to be alive to see it because of just this added game. If obviously it's like something like Joe Burrow just keeps tossing bombs all the time, or Cooper Kupp continues this trend for 5 years, and they get someone behind Stafford who's wonderful and great, and Kupp's just dominating for 10 years. He's going to get a ton of yards. It's just I'm looking forward to it. They're meant to be broken, all of them, but some of them will be a little harder to reach than others. 22 years is a long time to be playing football. Some people don't make it 5, some people don't make it 1. So I'm really excited to see some of those get broken. I mean, when Drew Brees made the most passing yards, they paused the game and hugged his kids.
That was fantastic. He had his kids on the field and everything. That was
beautiful, great. And I was like, I saw that live in my lifetime. It was wonderful. So I look forward to that happening again, and hoping, they pause the game and maybe not give up a game ball, Mike Evans, but
that was great. That was awesome. We love you having you around, T. Keep coming around. We love seeing your comments. Does it take away from the specialness, I guess, now that when these records are going to, you look at TJ Watt, right. Tying the sack record. Again, he had an extra game to do it, so you debate, well, he still didn't take the whole thing. So as we have this debate over the next, and it's going to fade out over the next couple, it'll take 2 or 3 years and people won't care anymore about the extra game. But, for those of us who have been watching a while, at least for these next few years, next year, when we have more than one 2,000-yard rusher, when we have receivers catching 125 balls and 1,500 yards and things like that, is it going to take away from how magnificent that feat is, knowing that they had an extra game? Like, how do you feel about that, Travis?
I don't think you can take away from it, man. I mean, it's kind of unfair that they have an extra game now to, like I said, achieve all those goals and records, but it's the state of the game now. The 17th game is here now.
Yeah,
it's here. I don't think it's going to. I actually think you remember a couple years ago they was talking about going to 18 games.
Oh man.
So
from a fan perspective, that would be amazing, but I can't imagine from a player perspective that you're wanting that to happen, right?
No, man, I know. So they were talking about it, so they may do it.
What do you think about the record?
All year, I mean, that's a long stretch. That's a long time to be getting hit every week and trying to make it, and staying healthy for the entire season is almost becoming really special, because you really need to do that. So
right.
Go ahead.
You see all the quarterbacks are breaking records. They're throwing for more passing yards. We've got more 4,000, 5,000 yard passers now than ever before. And it's because of the way the game is set up. You can't, whisper in a quarterback's ear without getting a penalty. And the hits aren't there anymore. You can't jam people off the line the way you used to and all that stuff. The game, to the NFL's admission and on purpose, is set up for big offensive numbers. And so with this new setup with 17 games, here's a record. So you've got the 72 Dolphins. Do they care anymore? Do the 72 Dolphins care anymore? Because now it's an extra game, right? Before it was undefeated for 16 games. And technically, New England broke it. They just didn't finish off. They lost the Super Bowl. So it doesn't count for some reason, even though they won more games in a row. So, I mean, does it even – are the Dolphins even still popping champagne? Or are we popping it in week 16? If everybody lost again by week 16, do we even care about week 17?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
I think they do a little, because it is special.
It's still special. I just think it's a record that I don't think that record can be broken now. I don't think it's possible to break it because
it's not right in a way.
Because even if you go undefeated now, wire to wire, you can say that we went from week 1 and won the Super Bowl, so that you completed an absolute undefeated season. But I think it's got to happen more and more that we're going to have teams get to week 16 without losing a game, right? I mean, if you've got 17 to play, I think it's more feasible, and you're going to see it more often for teams to win 16 games without losing.
Yeah.
Straight 16 would be an amazing feat. Maybe you have a softer schedule with a weak conference, but I don't know. Like that's something else that really be discussed. Back then, it's just like when you change over to this new time, let's take this new time and grow and move forward from it, and they will hold that type of season forever. I don't think you can't really go back to it. So let's take it, move on, and the new stats are coming and for whatever reason in 20, 50 years, they're like, we're going to go do 18 or 20 games because people love football so much, and they extend the roster to 70 players just to help with injuries and skill or whatever. I don't know. Anything is possible, but just, it's a different time. We can move forward. If you're always stuck in the past, that ain't no fun with that. Like, let's grow, let's learn, let's move forward. That's what I'm talking about.
Do we see teams doing like LeBron's been doing for over a decade now? Do we see teams not so much building an exact team, because you can't do that in the NFL, you can't afford that, but you look at the Rams, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, who have taken a Stafford, risen, Kupp has risen to his potential. You've gotten Donald, you scooped up OBJ, you scooped up Von Miller. Do we see this becoming more of a trend as the years go on, Travis?
I believe so, man. It seems like the Rams may have found a formula. They kind of, it seemed like draft picks, they'd rather get a known commodity versus gambling on the draft pick. Draft pick is unknown, so they'll bring in a Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, Odell, so they may have found something, man. I believe so.
Are we playing Moneyball in the NFL now, Root?
Listen, here's the thing. All this money talk and everything like that, a lot of these NFL players are what you would call rich. If you got 2 commas in the bank, you're doing pretty good, okay? Listen, if you already got $100 million and you've been in the league 10 years, go ahead and take that pay cut so you can make it to the big game.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be fine. Your kids are going to be fine. Your grandkids are going to be fine, and so on and so forth. Take that pay. You don't need 30, 40, 50 million a year for what? So you have some rookie running back, some rookie wide receiver. Your center can't block because he's just terrible and injured because he's old, and you can't pay anybody. Listen, Tom Brady did it several times where he just cuts it down and say, hey, I'll shorten this. I'll give it, $5 million here, $10 million there, whatever. Give me a good team around me. I getting paid. Get paid once, one time, once. Take care of you and your family. I got that. But after that, let's get to the big game. It's a lot more fun, and you ain't going to hurt if you don't get $2 extra million when you have 10 in the bank.
Ask Matt Stafford. A lot of people may not remember. A couple years back, his last contract in Detroit, it was short-lived, but he was the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL. He held out on his contract. Detroit, you can't go pick up someone else with Stafford's experience and talent level and stuff like that. So they have to pay Stafford his money. They do. And he becomes the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Now, during that same contract year, other quarterbacks got paid higher. And we see that happen every year. But Stafford gets his payday in Detroit, and now he goes over to LA. And, OBJ's not, he's not sitting as one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL, but he's made his money over the year. Leaves a bad situation in Cleveland, and just, you can pay me in crypto. I don't care. I just want to play. And that's what they do. And now he's going to the Super Bowl. So Von Miller, the Denver need to make some room. So, you see what happens there. And so these players are out there, and like you said, they want to shot. So you saw people in Tampa Bay's another. Look how many people signed with Tampa Bay. Gronk comes out of retirement. Yeah. You've got linemen and stuff going over there that were, that took a pay cut or maybe we're just going to be out of the NFL, whatever. And they just kind of like, hey, I'll play. You guys got Tom Brady now. I'll play over there. And they end up walking out of there with a Super Bowl ring last year and having a darn good shot at it this year. I think you are seeing it more, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how many more teams try to do that. So here's the rub of it, though. If you look at this year, if you weren't able to get yourself on a Rams, Kansas City, Buffalo, Tampa Bay team, you didn't have that shot. So how do you – and then it changes – so often, we see the rotation of talent. Kansas City wasn't in the Super Bowl 4 years ago. Kansas City didn't exist until Mahomes got there. You know what I mean? They were so far back. Tampa Bay had, since their last Super Bowl, Tampa Bay wasn't doing anything until Brady gets there. So how do you decide as a player? Do you have to do it in the middle of the season like Miller and OBJ did? Or is this something that you're trying to do in the off season and call up your buddies like a LeBron situation, be like, hey, you guys, Josh Rosen, he's pretty dang good. You can go try and land over there.
Right.
Well, see, the thing is, you have to stay loyal, and you can't stay loyal because it's a business. So some players are going to stay, some are not. Some are going to take pay cuts. Some are going to say, no, I'm here for me and my own. That's not the heart that I want. Man, I wish I was a coach. But at the same time, get your money when you can, because you don't know what's going to happen. You may not be able to play for 10, 15, 20 years like Brady and keep getting paycheck after paycheck. I mean, if I've been there in 10, 15 years and I'm still playing, I'm going to take that pay cut for my team. Not a problem. I'm not going to play for free. I'm not going to play at the bottom. I'm going to say, hey, give me something decent, something in the middle, something that'll help balance out the spreadsheet. I just feel like, yeah, he's right. I'm Rosen does suck. But it's going to be a fluctuating, fluid situation, and you can't have all the best players. Not all of them are going to – all these people respect themselves, love themselves, think highly of themselves. They think they're the best. I don't want a player that says, I deserve to be paid the most. Well, that's great, but in a month, somebody else is going to get that paycheck, and they're going to get paid more. So you had it for a couple of days. Big whoop. Like, that don't mean nothing to me. And now our team can't win because we can't afford anybody else. Oh, and you got hurt. Congratulations.
But like you said, it is a business. These guys are going for these paychecks. Let me clarify. The reason I keep saying Rosen is because when Rosen was drafted, he was supposed to be the hot thing. Like, he was going to come in. They were going straight to the Super Bowl. That's Rosen was the most NFL ready guy. He was so other guys were looking at, you had guys looking at Burrow being like, I definitely want to go play for that guy, or I don't want to go play for that guy. You're always guessing, like you said, Travis, about the draft. You don't know what you're going to get. How many people wanted to go play? How many people wanted to go play for the Jacksonville Jaguars knowing that they were going to pick up Trevor Lawrence versus how many people want to go play for the Jacksonville Jaguars now. As a fan, I can say I would still be willing. I would definitely want to go play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They just got a Super Bowl winning coach. They do have Trevor Lawrence, who put up Peyton Manning-like numbers in his first year. They've got fantastic running backs. Their defense, that can get motivated. They can show up. They showed that a few times that the defense can definitely dominate, and maybe they just need this guidance from Peterson now. I think Jacksonville could definitely be a team that people want to play for. But again, the obvious picks right now are your Kansas City, your Buffalo, your LA Rams. But because all those slots are taken, where do you want to try and rally around now? I can't get on a Rams team. I can't get on Kansas City team, and I can't get on a Buffalo team. You might be able to get on Buffalo team. There's a little room in Buffalo. You definitely, if you're an offensive lineman, you can definitely get on the Bengals team. Where's the team? Who's going to be in this mix? Because everybody can't be there. Tampa is likely not going to be there without Brady. And stranger things have happened. But who are the teams that people are trying to get to right now? Like what teams are going to be in the mix next year? We can say Kansas City is going to be there pretty easily. We can say Buffalo should be there pretty easy. We can look for the Rams to go on a nice run to repeat. If Cincinnati can get some offensive line help, they could definitely. They probably have the most difficult road to get back, but they could get back very easily. But outside of those guys, I mean, is San Francisco really going to be back under Jimmy G? I don't think that they're going to keep Jimmy G. So is Trey Lance really going to get them there? Dallas definitely got their issues. They could maybe make the playoffs again because they play in a crappy division. But does it really mean anything? I don't know. Where are the teams? Who's we got? All these teams making the playoffs now. We got extra team on each side making the playoffs now. Who's in the mix?
Come on, Trav. What do you got, baby? Come on.
Man, for me,
I
think
we'll call tails and defers.
A lot of us thought that Justin Herbert was going to have a year this year, which he did have Charles, they had a pretty decent year. But I think they'll be a surprise team next year, a nice little playoff team.
I think a lot of people said that about him this year. And it didn't happen. I mean, they only missed it by a game. I mean, they were there at the end. They were still playing. They shouldn't have missed it. They shot themselves. Right. I mean, you're right. They got Keenan Allen there. They got Herbert there. They got Eckler there. Like, what are they doing down there?
Right. So I definitely think they'll make the playoffs next year.
I like it.
If you look at teams, like if Steelers can either grow or draft a good quarterback, they're right back in it. Baltimore Ravens, injuries. What else we got? Jacksonville. Do you really want to go play for them right now? Maybe, maybe not. I think there's a lot of growth that can happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they also have a tough division. No.
I'm writing down your picks here. I've got.
You can want to go to Dallas.
People chant, putting the Chargers in the mix. I got. There it is, putting Baltimore in the mix. Who else we throwing in there? I got T putting the Vikings in there. I'm not mad at that pick, honestly. But go ahead, Rube. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Let's see. No. Arizona Cardinals.
I was going for Arizona. Yeah.
So, okay. Let's talk about Arizona real quick. Again, if you guys want to talk with us on the show live, just put in that little address right there, HTTPS, mailing app, et cetera. Hop on just like Travis did, and you can definitely be on the show with us. Let's talk about what is going on in Arizona. So we know Kyler Murray deleted all his Arizona social media stuff. Everybody's pretty much assuming it's a contract thing. Is Kyler Murray going to be back? Is Arizona back without Kyler Murray? What's going on with D-Hop? Is Arizona strong enough? I know they were a big favorite this year. They didn't make it. It didn't help that D-Hop wasn't there. Murray gets hurt. You always have to factor in the injuries. Is Arizona really strong enough to be factored in this for next year?
Let's go.
Wow. I'm sorry.
I mean, you guys both said Arizona. So make your case. I'm just giving you the chance to make your case.
I don't even
I'm
know.
not saying you're right or wrong. Just make your case.
I don't even know if I can make a case, man. I'm sorry. Look, they're a good
Are we
team.
retracting the pick one?
It's something with Kyler, man. I don't know. Like when he gets hurt, when he gets hit and it gets tough, it's like he folds, man. I can't go with him. I'm sorry, guys. I can't.
So we're retracting Arizona. Okay.
I have to, man. I have to. I'm sorry.
Okay. Kyler Murray avoids the big hits. Okay, he does. He'll slide early. He'll run out of bounds. He's fast. I love
Very good about sliding. Super fast. Yeah.
I love like his first play when he first debuted in Oklahoma. He ran for like an 80-yard touchdown. I was like, "That's the guy that's coming after Mayfield? Are you kidding me?" I was fired up. I was like, "Yes." I was like, "I can't wait till next year." And you know, the Arizona Cardinals had some injuries, and you know, D-Hop was out most of the year. I'm sorry, when you lose
a talent like D-Hop, and I think D-Hop's about done. I don't think he's out that long with this injury. I don't think you're not going to see the same D-Hop again. He's definitely going to slide way down my draft board, but
right.
Okay, I'll pick him up a little later. That's fine.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong. Like Arizona is not going to be better by trading away Kyler Murray. It's just not going to happen. The other side of it's going to win that trade unless something really crazy happens where they're like, we want that and we're going to trade for somebody else and we're going to build up around a weaker quarterback and then build the quarterback into the defense and the offense that's already there. But I think I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with the Arizona Cardinals. They were 11-6, which is one worse game than the Rams, and one better than what is it, Bengals and all them and all their excitement.
It was a very tight year, right up until the last 2 weeks. Yeah, right up until those last 2 weeks, it was very tight.
Mm-hmm. So when you're really thinking about it, you're a game or two away from being these two teams in the Super Bowl being somebody else. So there's nothing wrong with Arizona. They're fine. They're in the mix. If Kyler Murray wants to get paid, fine, pay him, whatever. Just
let's do this.
Taking advantages of like, hey, if I get paid too much,
there you go.
I'm not going to be able to get my other play. You want to get your team around you paid as well. And you taking the most cash isn't going to do that. And you're going to lose your best players. You lose your best friend because he wants to get paid somewhere else.
We're going to go through this real quickly. All I'm going to get from you guys is a yes or a no. All right. And the question is, will they make the playoffs next year? Very simple. Yes or no. And we'll see where we're sitting. And we're just going to run right down the whole thing and we'll settle this once and for all. Buffalo, are they in the playoffs next year?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. New England, are they in the playoffs next year?
Yes. Last wild card spot.
Group, there it is. Okay. You got to pick a side.
Yeah, I'll say they're in.
I think they got a real good shot. I really do like Mac Jones, and I still hate New England, but it's Brady's fault, not Mac's. Miami, with all the new head coaching change, tons of talent down there. We've already got Buffalo and New England in, but everything set aside. I'll alter the question slightly. Does Miami have a chance to make the playoffs next year?
No.
They have a chance, but no, they're not getting in.
I agree. And do I need to ask about the Jets?
No.
No, I don't.
We got to pause on that one. Hold on. Listen.
You're putting a chance to get in. You're giving the 4-13 Jets. What would make you change your mind about the Jets? Why give a 4-13 dismal Jets team a chance, especially being in the same division with the Bills, Patriots, and Dolphins?
Well, I'm not saying. Here's the thing: all four of them aren't going to make it. I get that.
Well, obviously.
But here's the thing: they got a good quarterback. I mean, Berrios came out of nowhere. He's like smaller than me, and I'm over here like sitting on the couch on Sunday. So what am I doing here? Here's the thing: Jets have a couple of picks in the first round.
But
They
next
have a
year,
pretty solid defense come up next year where you could change that 4 into an 8 or 9. Just, I mean, they had some close games. The Jets scared a couple of teams.
okay, how about this? We'll do this. We'll do this with the Jets because I don't think the Jets have a chance to make the playoffs with Buffalo and New England there.
Right, I don't,
but do the Jets finish last? Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, Jets. Do the Jets finish last?
That's tough. Do the Jets finish last? Let's say no, man. Let's say no. I think the Dolphins will finish last. Yeah, I think Dolphins.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say yes. They will
I'm going
finish
yes.
last, but I will be surprised if anybody in that division gets 10 wins.
Really? That's interesting.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to go back and write this all down. There's too much stuff to write down. Cincinnati Bengals, can they make it next year?
They'll probably be in the Super Bowl, yes.
Yeah. They need some offensive line help, or Burrow's not going to make the season, but I think they get it because I think they have the money to do so. Pittsburgh Steelers, they got a new quarterback coming in. Can they still make the playoffs next year?
No. I think that division too tough. Got Burrow now.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, you get a healthy Lamar back. I don't think so.
I'm sorry, you guys are wrong. They definitely make the playoffs next year. Cleveland Browns. So the Cleveland Browns make the playoffs this year. Look, Baker Mayfield, he's a stud, but they don't have OBJ anymore. They're going to need some receiver help. They definitely need some line help, and they're going to be competing with Cincinnati to get it. Does Cleveland make the playoffs?
I don't think so. I think they'll win 7-8 games, but they won't make it.
I'm gonna say.
I know it's your boy, but try not to be a fan right now.
He got off of social media.
Did he really?
Yes.
He did. He did.
As long as he keeps making commercials, I'll be okay.
That's fine. I like, he might be in the Super Bowl commercial. Who knows?
That's right.
If he's in a Super Bowl commercial, he's making.
I'll bet he will. What a genius marketing move that would be! Like I bet he will be in a Super Bowl commercial this year. But
that's what I'm saying. Right now, boom.
I definitely think he will. But will he be in the playoffs next year?
If he's in a Super Bowl commercial, yes. If not, no.
Baltimore. Does Baltimore make the playoffs next year?
Yes.
Come on, Lamar, baby. Come on, get those legs going. I want to see him.
He is coming. He coming.
Yes.
Hey,
they can make a wild card.
One side note on Lamar, real quick.
They got to stay healthy, but I mean, they should get their running back situation taken care of, and Lamar coming back. I'm gonna go with you guys on this.
I hope a lot of people sleep on Lamar next year. That's all I'm saying during the draft. Just sleep on him. I get it.
Did the Tennessee Titans finish for? Did the Tennessee Titans? No, Tennessee Titans don't get 12 wins again. Did the Tennessee Titans make the playoffs next year?
They will. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to think in that division. What about the Colts?
Yes.
See, I'm with you on this. I think the Colts do vie for again. Obviously, not all these teams can make it, but we're talking. I mean, we're basically saying, do they have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs next year? That's basically what we're talking about. And I think the Colts definitely have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
Root, what do you think?
Yeah.
If they wouldn't,
I do. They got a great team. One of the best running backs.
Yeah, Jacksonville lost away from making it this year.
Texans. I mean, they have.
They're gonna get another early pick. It's fine.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's got to catch up eventually. You get all these picks. Jacksonville. Does Jacksonville? Is it 3 wins? Does Jacksonville get? I definitely think they get more than 3 wins. They got Peterson. Let's see. Does Jacksonville break 7? We'll put the line at 7. I don't know what the Vegas line is. I'm going to put the line at 7. 7 wins for Jacksonville.
Wow.
No,
I might say, give me 6, man. 6.
Yeah, I'll take 6, but
yeah,
maybe no.
I'm actually going to put. I'm going to give him the 7. I'm going to give it to him.
Okay.
That's without a schedule. I haven't seen. Obviously there's.
Yeah, I got to put on the schedule. Let me see the schedule first, then I'll.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's going to make a difference. Kansas City. I'm just going to put a yes for all you guys. You don't even get to weigh in. Raiders, Las Vegas.
No, nah. I'm sorry. They did it this year, but I think it was kind of fluky. So no, I don't think so.
You know what's sad is they did it this year and without Darren Waller, which hurt me a lot in fantasy.
Me too.
That something's wrong in Vegas. Everybody's driving, hitting people, in the
I know,
elevator.
right?
Whatever's going on. I'm going to say no. Las Vegas is a shit show right now, and
I'm giving them a no, and this is why. Because the next team I'm about to mention, the Los Angeles Chargers. I think the Chargers jump them. I think the Chargers have a legit chance to make the playoffs this year. What say you?
Yes.
Yeah. And the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos got a lot of work to do getting rid of Bridgewater. They still have a fantastic team. I think they're completely underachieved this year. I think they have a great team. But do they have the potential to make the playoffs next year?
Now,
Where'd
I
Von
will say
Miller
no.
come from?
Travis is going to say no.
Where'd
say
Von
no.
Miller come from?
Yeah.
One more time, Rick?
Where did Von Miller come from?
Yeah.
Denver to LA. It didn't make the Denver Broncos better, so I'm going to say absolutely no. And actually, T. Hall asked Travis a question a little while ago.
I saw it.
wait
I
a
didn't get a chance to.
I'm
I
on
saw
another
it.
page. I can't see it. You got to get in there.
I saw it.
It says,
Hey,
hey,
T.O., I
Travis,
know
how do you like Pitts?
about Pitt. I know exactly what it was. I saw it. I just couldn't. I didn't want to break in and interrupt y'all guys, but
No, we got. I was finding my moment.
okay.
Oh, I was way up there. Hold on. Let's hold on to the Pitts question until I'm going to try and push through these until we get over to Atlanta. We're almost there. So we're done with the AFC. Denver, we've got nose. I'm going to say nose across the board. I honestly, I would have given more credit if they kept Bridgewater. But without Bridgewater, I like Bridgewater. I'm kind of a Bridgewater fan. He's one of those guys that's good enough, and that's what you need. Like he's just good enough to get you the win. We got Dallas. Dallas coming back to the playoffs again, not to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Playoffs.
Same thing every year. That's it.
Every year. Philadelphia. They've got a quarterback who can run.
I say yes. I give it to him. I say they get in.
He'll give Philly.
I think he can pull it off. I'm gonna go say yes.
You're gonna say yeah?
Yeah.
Potential, yes. I'm gonna give the potential.
Yeah.
This is the team that I think is the wild card in this division for me personally. The Washington Commanders. What a dumb name. Sorry, that's an editorial. I just think it doesn't even roll off the tongue.
Okay, Travis, we got to stop here we got to take a pit stop.
Look, it's no disrespect to like the players or the team or anything. Look, obviously they had nothing to do with this. They didn't have any say in this. So don't get me wrong. I'm not disrespecting.
Right.
I was kind of getting Washington football team was kind of growing on me. But the Commanders, like, where do we get this?
It's terrible, man.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
They couldn't name them after like a catastrophe or something like that to really.
Yeah, like hurricanes, tornadoes, typhoons. What was the team?
The Floods, like
who was the team that Falco led? The Sentinels.
I'm going to take the Sentinels.
God, Sentinels been awesome. Come on. All right, but do they have a chance under Heineke, who I still like? I really like Heineke. Do they have potential to make the playoffs this year or next year? Or are they just missing too many?
Nah.
The Commanders will not be in the playoffs next year. They need themselves a new stadium. Is what they need. Like they'll make a new stadium before they make the playoffs. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree with that. They got 7 wins. I think they might get 8 next year. I don't know. They're not going to playoffs. NYJ, little Danny Dimes. Can he get it done?
No.
Danny's done. He's had his years. No, that's it. I mean,
I'm actually going to give him an outside shot for the wild card because again, we're talking potential. Everybody can't make it. I got
3
that.
out of 4 of that division. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's
bad. What is it? A 30-team playoff?
Now, Green Bay. We don't know what Rodgers is going to do. Does Green Bay have a shot?
As the team right now, yes.
Yeah, right now. As it stands right now. If Rodgers leaves, no.
Green Bay, yes, but with Rodgers. No Rodgers.
An asterisk at the top.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Wow. Yes.
I say yes to Minnesota. I like Minnesota. I like, they're making moves. They're trying to get things done. I really like the core group that's there. I think they got good receivers. They clearly have a good running game. I was really surprised they didn't make it this year. I like Minnesota.
Me too.
Yes, because this draft is defense heavy, and Minnesota's gonna be drafting some defense. They got a great offense
Mm-hmm.
coming together.
Is Is Fields finally going to put it together? Do we have some potential for a 8-9 win season in Chicago? They got a shot to maybe
But
make
I
a
don't
well.
think I don't think they made the playoffs, but I definitely think Fields would be improved.
I think Fields is going to be improved. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs unless they pick up Chris Olave. Then they do have a shot.
You
because
shut your mouth. That would be freaking like I might. No, I'm not going to say I'd become a Chicago fan, but
I mean, you get okay.
Yeah,
why would
I mean-
Bears not try to pick up Chris Olave and get him back to his quarterback. Why?
I mean, everybody's going to make the comparison to what Cincinnati did, and it works for Cincinnati. So, I
do it. I
I
don't
hear
care.
you. I love Chris Olave. He's awesome.
I'm just saying,
Detroit Lions. I'm not even going to ask about Detroit Lions because you said yes. I'm
Detroit.
going to have to turn you off.
Okay, fine.
Tampa Bay, I'm going to say no for Tampa. I mean, we don't know, again, as of today, we don't know who they're going to get. I mean, maybe Aaron Rodgers goes to Tampa Bay, and maybe that turns to a yes. I got to say no to Tampa Bay. What do you guys say?
Me too. No.
Everybody in the NFC South isn't going to make it. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
I think
like it's all that bad. No, that's I'm saying that. I'm saying they're going to create a new rule because everybody's going to play so bad that nobody's going to finish above 500, and it's not going to be like 2 years ago where like two teams like made it to 500. So someone had to make no. It's like they're all going to be so bad. The NFL is going to change the rules, and nobody from that division makes it.
Yeah. I think the winner of that division is gonna be like 7-10.
Yeah.
So,
Falcons.
that's what us.
Well, we're almost there. We're almost there. Hold on, we got one more team. So, are you saying yes or no to the Buccaneers? Or
No.
there it is.
I'm going to say yes, unfortunately. Just they got enough talent.
You're giving it to them. See, I think New Orleans can put it together. I think that they could be there. So I'm going to give New Orleans a yes. What say you?
No.
No,
Although-
Alvin Kamara is probably going to do
Yeah, that's a good point. No, that's a good point. I might have to rethink that. And so here we are at Atlanta Falcons. We got Matty Ice. We got Pitts. We got Cordell. Maybe Mike Davis changes his mind and decides to play. You've got some receiving talent. You've got a completely underachieving team in Atlanta. Do they turn it around? Do they have the potential to make the playoffs this year or next year? Well, same difference.
I believe so. Just by default, man, because the division's so bad.
Yeah.
I just say because, like I say, New Orleans, they got no quarterback. Sean Payton gone. Carolina, who knows what they doing out there. Tampa losing Brady. We'll win by default, man.
Thank you. I think Matty Ice is looking at like, wait, it's just like the traffic moved out of my way and I just drive through.
Right.
Okay, fine. I'm coming back for one more year.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna give those Falcons.
Yeah, Rob says no, but
not hard anymore. So
Rob says no. Rob, pick up the address right there. Type it in a little browser spot up there so you can come join the show. But I'm actually going with yes as well. I think exactly what Travis said. I think all the other teams are just bad enough by default. I think Atlanta has a really good shot to win that division. That's not saying much. Carolina, are we all in agreement for no in Carolina?
No.
Yeah,
they're probably going to trade away McCaffrey because he's injured.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about doing. I mean, they're rebuilding a place as a dumpster fire. Rams, I think we can all say yes on that, right?
Yes.
Any objections there? Okay, here we go. Arizona. Now you guys got to give me a final answer on Arizona. No more flip-flopping. Oh, it's going in the books.
Yes.
It's going to be official.
Yes.
It's hard to say because as of today, Kyler Murray is still there.
Yeah, right now, right.
Yeah.
I say yes. I say they'll make the playoffs, but it's gonna be just like it'll be the first round. They'll be out.
Yeah, I'm going no. First round. Sanford, yeah, I'm going no. San Francisco.
Yeah, first round they
We
done.
got that right now.
San Fran, no.
Yeah,
No.
we'll put something together after the show because I'm definitely saying no on Arizona. San Francisco.
No.
No.
We got to know. I know T says yes because T has to say yes. What do you got, Root?
No for San Francisco.
No for San Francisco. I got to think they got to take at least a year to rebuild because you're going to lose Garoppolo. You're going to lose your starting quarterback. You've kind of got to, figure out what you're doing. Deebo Samuel is fantastic, but how, does that work every year, or is that just a 1 year thing? Are people going to figure that out, or is Deebo just that good? But the most important thing being you're going to have a brand new starting quarterback most likely, and I think you need at least a year to pick that up. So I also say no. And, of course, last but not least, Seattle. Again, will Russell be there? Will the coach be there? One of them is probably going to leave, if not both. You still have two of, I'll take either of those receivers in the first 2 rounds. I might push Lockett to the 3rd round, but they've got talent. They just completely underachieved. But does Seattle have the potential? Do they still, as they sit right now, do they still have the potential, regardless of how they finish, to make the playoffs next year if Russell comes back? Rob says no.
They do. If Russell comes back and stays healthy, they do.
Travis says yes.
He missed 3-4 games with that finger or whatever. So if he stays healthy, they do.
Rob's got Niners in a wild card.
Travis has got a good point.
Yeah.
Those 3-4 games or whatever, that could have made a difference. That is a really deep division.
Yeah.
It could have been, everybody could have been like 11-6 or something, like all of them. It's
one of those divisions where they all kind of beat up on each other throughout the year. Like, we had a shot, but we had to play everybody in our division this year, so we fucked ourselves because
I think Russell Wilson kind of wants to play somewhere else. He probably doesn't want his 80-year-old coach. I don't know what's going on up there. I'm going to say just they're not the team. They're not the mold. They're not all playing together with heart, and I'm going to say no.
If the team stays the way it is right now, I give them a yes. Again, if Russell leaves, obviously I think answers change on that. So we got all the way through. I appreciate you guys doing that. If you guys are watching, you still got a few more minutes to get in. Just put that little address down there, the HTTPS, et cetera. Type that in. You get on just like Travis did. And you can finish out the season with us here on Yards After the Catch.
Rob probably can't get in right now. He probably would sign on, but he's probably at work watching the show. So,
I know for a fact that T is. We appreciate you guys joining from work and taking a few minutes to slack off on your jobs and come on in.
Hey, Chris, I got a special guest, man. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There's little man. What's going on? The People's Champ Junior. That's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, People's Champ Junior. Do the Falcons have a chance to make the playoffs next year?
Yep.
He says, yep. All right, I'm putting it down. That's a lock right there. Go ahead, make your bets now, ladies and gentlemen. People's Champ Junior says the Falcons are in, and I'm not going to argue with him. I'll put some money on the Falcons right now to win that division.
Oh, yeah.
Based off that, that's all I needed to know.
Right.
Fantastic. So he says I'm at the bowling. Rob's at the bowling alley. We're glad. Well, we hope you get 270 or above there, Rob.
Yeah.
So last question as we finish this up and we finish off the season, before we give our predictions for the Super Bowl, of the teams that are there. So you've got your Rams, you got your Cincinnati, count the Niners, they were there, Dallas, Kansas City. Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay out of the equation just because Brady's not there. Not to say they couldn't be in this equation, but I think they're an easy out on this answer. But the teams that were there, who has the most chance to not be there next year? I'm going to make Roop. There it is. Go first. He's been deferring too much.
Wait, so you said the Niners.
The teams that are there, who has the greatest chance to not be there this year? You're going to have to go out on a limb and say Buffalo might not make it, or Cincinnati might not make it, Kansas City might not make it.
I think San Francisco.
San Francisco?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Is San Francisco – so before – is San Francisco too easy? I took Tampa out because I felt like it was too easy. Is San Francisco too easy?
Yeah,
San Francisco might be too easy too. So we'll take San Francisco out as well. We'll take them out. We'll take the top four.
Okay. I would have to go with probably, and I'm not proud of it, but probably the Eagles. I think they're just not a team yet. They get a couple wins. It's a little softer division. If they have a tough schedule next year, I think they're out.
That's fair assessment. I can see it. What do you got, Travis?
Okay, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but Arizona, man, I'm sorry, they just
Travis.
if anybody, man, they won't make it.
But I want to know about the teams that were there. I want to know about the teams that actually made it, that were actually there, that were like legit in the hunt.
They made it to the Final Four, like the championship, or
yeah. I mean, I'm talking about like the so
the Cardinals.
I'll give you the name. We'll do this. Rams, Cincinnati. I'm going to take the Niners out of it because they're probably going to lose their starting quarterback. I'm going to take Tampa because they did lose their starting quarterback. And I'm actually going to take Green Bay out of it because they might lose their starting quarterback. That's a big one to take out of it because if they keep Rodgers, who knows, right? But I'll go ahead and take Green Bay out of it to make it a little easier. So we got the Rams, we got Cincinnati, we got Kansas City. I'm going to let Philly get in there. Rob brought in the Steelers, but again, they fall into the loss of starting quarterback situation, right? So I think if other teams are out for losing the starting quarterback, I think they got to be out for losing the starting quarterback as well. So you've got Kansas City, Tennessee, and New England.
Okay. Well, give me Tennessee then.
Oh, and Dallas. I'm sorry, and Dallas. Can't forget that.
I would love to say Dallas, but their division's so bad too. They'll win by default as well. So, but give me Tennessee then. Give me Tennessee, man. I don't think
so. You're going Tennessee will not be in the playoffs next year.
Yeah, I don't trust Tannehill, man. I think the Colts may win that division, and we'll see what happens after that.
Big pick. That's bold. I like that.
That's bold because they were the number one seed.
Yeah, they got Travis Henry, number one seed. I mean, without Travis Henry, they still got number one seed. I like that. I like it. But they could lose. They could lose Tannehill, and they could fall under the lost quarterback, starting quarterback. Okay, Rob, you're gonna have to pick one because you said Cincy and then you said Buffalo. So I'm gonna need a final answer from you before. Oh, he says Buffalo is coming, so Cincinnati won't be there. I'm gonna go with this as well. I'm going to pick Cincinnati as having the greatest chance to not be there also because of that offensive line. Now, if they short up that offensive line, that's going to change that. I do like the Philly pick. I think the Tennessee pick has a chance based off our 3 picks or our 4 picks with Rob. Me and Rob are both saying the same thing. But so based off our 3 picks, I would probably put more money on one of your 2 picks. But if Cincinnati does not shore up that offensive line, I'm not sure they make it back because if they cannot protect Burrow, he's going to end up just like Mayfield. He's going to end up like Carr down in Houston all those years, and his career is going to get real short.
Right.
All right. Moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen, for all those watching, for all those who stuck around, for all those who have tried to get in, not been able to get in, for all those who have been here all year. Travis, you're going to go first. Roop, you're going to go second, and I'm a host, so I get to go last. Who is your pick for the big game? a mere 96 hours away, something like that, coming up on Sunday. Rob, you weigh in. If you guys are watching, let us know who you got in the big game. Travis, who you got?
It is going to be a tight one. I'm going Rams. I'm going to say 27-24 Rams.
And I was going to ask for score, so you already beat me to it.
Mm-hmm.
Travis, 27-24.
Come to the score. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you got that. Rob, we're talking to you. Who you got in the game? T, I know you're out there. Who you got in the game? If you're watching, T, what do you got? The Gator kicker wins it all. He just can't get off the Gator. He just loves McPherson. He's going to marry him one day. T says that Cincinnati wins. Give me a score, T. He's got Cincinnati by 3. I'll just give you a +3. You don't even have to give me points. I got you +3 because the kicker's going to win no matter what the score is. Cincinnati wins by 3. Rob also has Cincinnati. You got a score for me, Rob? What do you got? 27-21. I like it. All right, Root, there it is.
You know, I really feel like the Steelers are going to win this one. Oh, that's right. They're not in it. Sorry, Chris. These playoffs have been.
We've lost Roop. I don't know what happened to him. He came off. He's back. Thank God. Thank God. He's back. I'm sorry. We didn't get your pick, but we're out of time. Appreciate everybody for joining us. All right, Roop, there it is. What do you got?
I'm going to have to lean towards being one of probably the greatest playoffs and greatest Super Bowl run of ever.
So great.
And Burrow's going to be back, but Stafford's going to take this one. And I'm going to say 34-31. It's going to be another fourth quarter showdown because, I mean, we're running it like that all season or this playoff season. So I'm excited. I think nobody's going to be leaving their seats in that fourth quarter. And it's going to be legit because you have to understand these defenses aren't the best ever. But I want to see this high-scoring power offense. That's the most exciting. I don't want to see 10-3. That out of here. Right. 34-31. Rams take it, and they'll be taking a knee at the end. They won't be. Bengals won't be running it downfield and doing the Mahomes and Burrow thing. No, it ain't gonna happen like that.
I actually have this going a little bit. Yeah, Rob brings up it could go to OT. It's going to be that close. OT in the Super Bowl has not happened many times. But, I mean, if any Super Bowl had a chance to go to OT, it would be this one. But look, you got Burrow and Chase. I mean, T. Higgins come through in the clutch. These Bengals are on a roll, living on the leg of McPherson, and I love what they're doing. I love the young guy. You got the Dan Marino / Tom Brady scenario, and so it's really just a matter of how that finishes. And finish the way Brady finished in his second year, the way Marino did. And then you got the Rams. We talked about this before. Wily veterans. You've got so much talent with Darnold and Von Miller. On the other side, you got the number one receiver in the entire NFL, and the talent of Matt Stafford, who's been hidden in Detroit all this time, finally got to shine. Look, I'll take experience over luck any day, and I will take offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And I just think LA's got the defensive talent to pull this one off. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Rams are going to pull it off. I actually had 34-31 myself, but in the interest of, I know Root, there it is, cannot live with us guessing the exact same thing for the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go ahead. What's that?
I already got that win, though.
You did already get it. So officially, my guess would be the Rams at 34-31. Now I have to pick a new score. I'm going to take the Rams. Do I go higher or lower? I'm going to take the Rams at 31-27 with a late drive by the Cincinnati Bengals. Burrow and Chase trying to get it downfield, trying to pull a Stafford to Kupp in the last minute, and Von Miller coming up with the sack on that O-line to finish the game. Maybe it's Donald that gets it with the pressure as well, but I think the defense wins this one, stops the Cincinnati on the very last drive, stopping the comeback from happening, and the Rams emerge victorious. Stafford finally gets a well-deserved name on the Lombardi Trophy, and that's how I see it going down. Hey, everybody, we just appreciate you guys so much. We appreciate all the support you guys have given us throughout the entire season. We're not leaving you guys in the off season. We're not taking any time off. I know you guys aren't either. Fantasy football lives on. I see dynasty leagues drafting. I've seen regular leagues already drafting, which is crazy, but I mean, that's kind of fun too. So fantasy football lives on. NFL football lives on. Don't go through the drought of the after Super Bowl drought alone. Get your crunk on during the Super Bowl halftime show, just like I will be. Enjoy this game, and we will be here with you guys all off season. We will definitely be back next season. Rob, you've been here the entire season. T, Travis, thank you for coming back and joining us on the show. I got to give love to Aurora. I got to give love to Rachel. T-Bone Smith has joined us so many times. Everybody on the Facebook page, so much love, and we just hope to keep that growing. And we're gonna keep putting in the work for you guys. We're gonna come out even bigger and better. We've got a lot of new plans for next year, so we hope you'll come back and join us here on Yards After the Catch. There's the Super Bowl picks, guys. I mean, the big game a few hours away. You know who we think's gonna win, and it's I think. No matter what happens, I think we're going to get a great game. I think it's going to be one of the best Super Bowls from wire to wire, start to finish, from the commercials to the halftime show to the very end of the game. I think this is just going to be like the culmination of just a fantastic season. Travis, you took the time to call on the show. Give us some final thoughts as we go into this weekend and head into it.
Well, man, I just hope everybody have a, great Super Bowl, great game. Rams win. Like I say, like you said, the defensive line is gonna come down to Donald and Miller, man. That's what gonna come down to. So, other than that, that's it, man. I appreciate y'all just opening up the platform, man. The forum, let us come on and kick it with you guys and talk some football. So,
absolutely, Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next season for sure. I'm going to click yours off. Me and Rupert are going to finish it off, but we really appreciate you coming around, and please, stick around because we're going to do more of this next year for sure. I think we're both in agreement. We like this, and it's going to be there. All right, little man, you be safe. Good luck to your Falcons, and I hope you guys just have a great Super Bowl. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you guys soon. All right?
All right, you too.
All right, take care.
All right.
Hey, thanks a lot, T, for the support. Corp isn't expecting Donald Miller to have the impact. I just don't know that Cincinnati's O-line is going to be able to stop them. They haven't been able to stop anybody else. I'm not sure what they do to make it happen. Root, final words, big game, end of the season. Take us off the field, brother.
Listen, this is the great week. This is the end. This is the end. This is what it's all for. Everybody's starting to get the shakes, a little nervous, but I'm excited. I think, everybody's excited for this one. It's new names and new teams, and it's just something that's going to be really beautiful this weekend. Greatest playoffs ever. I think it's going to be one of the Super Bowls to remember. And, I want to thank Aurora for showing up and Rachel, and Rob's always there, typing away, working or not. We got T and Corp, and it's everybody just showing up is special to us. I really enjoy it. I want you to just have a great time, talk some trash even this weekend. It doesn't matter if your team's in it or not. Let's see that beautiful, great game that we always want, and have some fun. Be safe, because we want you back next season. We want to see you bringing it in, bringing the love and the hate. Let's bring it. Have a good time. And Chris, take us home, baby.
Hey, just, I can't say anything better than that. We love you guys. We love all of you out there. Go big or go home. We went big this year. We're going even bigger next year. So come back, join us, help us make it bigger, because you guys are the ones that make the show, and we love you guys just almost as much as fantasy football. But we all love fantasy football as much as you guys do together, and we're going to be here to help get you guys through the season. You guys will help get us through the season. This won't be the last time you see us. You'll see us on the draft. You'll see us pop up every now and again throughout the season. But you guys, you hit it right on the head. It's going to be a great game, but the most important thing is just to take care of each other, enjoy the game, but be safe. Enjoy the festivities, enjoy your drinks, enjoy the people around you, be safe so that you guys can come back for another fantasy season and come back and enjoy another great game after this one. That's the most important thing. But, thank you for joining us. Again, thank you for the support. Keep yakking football, everybody. We'll be here. You guys come back and enjoy that Super Bowl. Rams win. Rams win. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody. Have a great one.